Hey guys, and welcome back to part 3 of the Hanson Audio Molten Kit tutorial. In the last video you saw us root out our kit, so now we've got all these lovely channels that we can start mixing with, and in the video before you saw us write the drums for this part. What I'm going to do is literally just dive straight into the mixing, and we will make these drums fit our mix even better, add a little bit of spice, and I'm excited to show you the final result. So add a track, and I'm going to create a bus track. That's okay, we'll make a group track, drum bus. So the first thing I'm going to do is route all of our drums to that drum bus that we just created. That means that all of our drums are now going through this channel. Perfect. And then I'm just going to add a little compression, like a little more compression. It's going to help glue the drums into that mix a little bit more. And I'm just not going to do a lot. I'm just going to hit it until it's like -3. So I like to use Kramer Pi. And I don't want that much compression. So what I'm going to do is, just before Kramer Pi is hitting it a little too loud, so I'm just going to bring all of the drums into Kramer Pi down a little bit. Perfect. So we're just hitting a kind of 3 dB. That's kind of where I like it. We set the decay time to the fastest, maybe 2 to 1, so it's not as intense. Yeah, that's good with me. Now, not going to add any other samples or kind of enhance the kit in any other way other than just light mixing. So first thing I'm going to do with the kick is bring in our trusty EQ. And I'm just going to make some EQ moves. Let's listen to the kit. Now, love how this kit sounds. I'm going to do a little bit of a low pass. Just remove some of that thump. And I kind of want a bit more of a clicky metalcore kick drum. It already sounds fantastic, but I'm just going to remove some of this kind of this woofy stuff here, which can be fantastic in mixes, but in this one I'm not particularly a fan of it. And what this is going to do is kind of just boost our low end a little bit more, just clearing up that area, just slight removal. And I'm going to remove some mid-range, just some of that stuff, which again can be really nice in some mixes, but I want more of a clicky kick. Probably going to remove some 2K, just some of that, and we'll just add a little sprinkle of air. So before, it sounds more like a sample, and that's kind of what I was going for. It's more of that metal sound. Now I like to add some more compression onto my kick drum, and for compression on my kick I like to use grey, which is modelled on an SSL. So we'll set this to 3. And I will set the release to fast and the attack to maybe 10, and we will just dial this in. Ratio maybe 2 again, and maybe back off the mix so it's kind of more parallel compressed. Again, just help tightening that up, maybe enhancing some transient a little bit. Give it a little more thump. Yeah, I like that. Let's listen to how this sounds in the mix. You can see what we've really done is just tighten up it and make it more genre specific. So let's bypass this. You see I just made it just a little bit clearer. The last and final thing I'm going to do is add some parallel clipping. So I'm going to go to our trusty JST clip, and I'm going to bring this down to around 60%. And I'm just going to hit 1. Nothing too crazy, but it's just going to help give it some extra aggression. I love that. That sounds fantastic. Okay, onto our snare. Again, love this snare. So I'm just going to do some light EQ work to begin with. Now, I'm going to remove this resonant peak a little bit here. Just bring it down a little bit. I'm going to remove some of that kind of, I don't know, kind of like honky stuff, kind of around like here. Just a little bit of that, just make our snare sound a little bit more clear. And I'm going to add kind of a low mid bump, but I'm actually going to do this with a non-surgical EQ. Something like the SSL E-channel strip. And yeah, I'm just going to add some low end, because the reason why I'm going to this is because it's kind of more creative. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just kind of turning dials until it sounds good. So I want to add some more low end. Now, I'm not afraid to use a shelf here and then filter it out rather than using a bell. So we're just enhancing that smack. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some air around 8K. I'm actually kind of feeling like some more kind of like 1-2K stuff as well. This is starting to mix. I think that's fine. I think that's great. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this down slightly as well in level. I think that sounds amazing. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this little bit of clipping here. So you like see, I like to clip my snare a little heavier and around 8% mix. And this is just going to, again, help it make it a little bit more aggressive and clamp it down in the mix. So. I'm actually going to bring the gain down a little bit so it's not as loud. So before our processing, after. And then I'm going to add like a little final thing, and I'm just going to add some low end saturation in order to get some kind of more low end coming through that snare, make it sound a little thicker. So you can kind of hear that subtly that what we've done, I mean, it's not even that subtle. We can hear that we've kind of boosted the low harmonic content of the snare to make it sound just a bit thicker. And it's going to pay dividends in the overall mix. Sounding good. I love these toms. I'm actually not really going to touch them at all. In fact, I don't think I'm going to touch them. What I might do is just take, obviously we've bussed them all together for this purpose. I think they sound absolutely fantastic. I might just add a tiny bit more low end EQ. Just kind of maybe like just like a little tiny bump in form of a low shelf. But they sound so good. Maybe a little mid-range cut, because obviously this can affect all the toms, so this is kind of just got to be broad macro moves here. And that's all I'm going to do. Love these toms, don't need changing. I think they fit in this mix amazingly. Onto the overheads again, sound fantastic. What I might do is, I'm just not really a fan of having too many shells in my overheads. It does help keep the kit sound uniform, but I might just kind of filter out a little bit more. Maybe just a line of kind of smoothing this up a little bit. Maybe a little cut around here as well. A little high boost, get some more air in there. Cool. And then for the rooms, again, I don't really like too much low end in my room, so we've got room left and right here, so I'm just gonna remove some of that, remove some of that. And I don't think I need to overly compress the rooms because I'm kind of liking how big this drum kit sounds without it. And they actually just clip. So let's see how it sounds before and after. Now, if we remove all of the processing. Brilliant. Still sounds absolutely incredible. And with processing. So while it is quite subtle overall, that's how I would mix the drums for a song like this. Now, without further ado, let's take a listen to a whole track from completely written drum parts to rooting them out to mixing the drums. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a listen to the final finished mix. really happy with how that turned out. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a fantastic time along with us learning about the Molten Kit and how I would process this in a mix. Again, thank you to Francesco at Centurion Studios for whipping together this amazing track. Thank you for Jacob for giving me this opportunity to make these videos for you guys. I hope you really enjoyed it and you learned something. Now, there will be a few more videos coming, bonus videos and bonus series where we look at our different products, such as our trigger sample libraries. And I am going to give you the start to finish process on how I use these Slate trigger packs that we have. So I hope you learned something fantastic and I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you soon.